When it comes to actually pricing out how much it costs for weekly maintenance, I mean, there's a lot of different variables. The biggest thing is foliage in the that's present, how many trees that are around, how many bushes, do you have beds of mulch next to the pool. The next thing is the actual size of the pool and how many gallons of water that are actually present in the pool itself. Then of course, the turns, the angles, and how the actual pool is built, and the depth, as well as it being a salt or a chlorine pool.
If it's a salt, yes. If there's a distinction between a salt and a chlorine pool, that is a big variance in price. Salt pools require more chemicals to maintain, so those are charged a little bit more, usually about $5 more. On average, it's about $50 to $55 per week to clean a swimming pool. But salt pools are a little more because during the process of the salt cell taking the salt and breaking it into chlorine, it literally converts the salt into chlorine. pH ions are released in that process, and that's going to raise the pH. And so basically each visit at a salt pool, each week, we're having to add muriatic acid. Whereas a chlorine pool, we can relatively maintain the pH a little easier. So that addition of pH and then total alkalinity, those two chemicals in a salt pool are going to be constantly in flux. So that's why a salt pool is more to maintain than a chlorine pool.
Yeah, and that being said, I mean, there's so many different pool companies out there, that are going to be significantly cheaper, I guess, than what we would charge. But we kind of do everything that is in your backyard, and we check your equipment. We get all the debris out of the pool. We add chemistry. We store the chemistry in our trucks.
Yes.
We're making it for the customer to look out the window, be hands-free of it, get in their spa, get in their pool, have great chemistry balance, because chemistry balance is a huge thing.
Yes.
Yes, you can pay a little bit cheaper price and have a guy who does 1 or 2 routes a week, and it's just him and maybe one other employee. But it's really important to keep the chemistry balanced properly in the pool, because when it comes to your plaster's health and your plaster's life, as well as your equipment, I mean, chemistry is super important.
And to just real quick, when we're evaluating a pool for weekly maintenance, like Jeff's indicated, size of the pool is everything. The larger the volume, the more chemical it needs. The more elaborate and intricate, the amount of pumps we have to empty, or skimmers, or grottos, or bars, areas that are kind of hard to get in there to scrub, that will help, or that will make the price increase. But definitely the size and the amount of foliage, basically trees or brushes or shrubs or anything that'll just dump in the pool.
You got to think. You got to treat your pool kind of like you treat your lawn. Who really has time nowadays to go outside and mow the grass? I honestly love to do it, but I just don't have the time.
Fertilize, edge.
Rake. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff that's involved, and not only do you have to have a lawnmower, do you have to have the gas, do you have to have the rake, the weed eater, this and that to make everything look great. You got to have all that with a pool as well. You got to have the chemicals stowed properly. You got to have the net, the vacuum, the head, the actual vacuum hose, the pole. You have to have all that, which costs money.
Yes.
Weekly it costs money to add chemicals.
And another factor in determining the price is the current state of their plaster.
Yes.
Older plaster is hard to maintain because it's porous. It'll let algae hide in between the cracks and the crevices in there. Whereas a new plaster is flush and fine, where it won't let any algae hardly grow in it. Of course, algae will find a way. But the older the plaster, the worse condition, the more the price will be. The older the equipment, the older the equipment, the kind of less it functions properly, that will have a variance in the price as well. So there's quite a few factors that go into evaluating and pricing a pool for weekly service.
For sure. And I mean, let's be honest, who wants to constantly clean their pool on a week-to-week basis? I mean, you want to, like I said, you want to look outside.
You just want to swim.
You just want to swim. That's all you want to do. Come home, look outside, man, that pool looks good.